Hi guys, it's Erin from Ginger's Florals. It's the middle of December and we have a window of opportunity, so I'd like to take you guys along for our December tour. We'll wander through the field and all of our other gardens and just take a look at what's changed, what we've managed to get done. To me, it doesn't seem like a lot, but maybe when we look back. I try to use these. I'm going to try and use these as sort of like a garden journal, so I can just look back and see what we've done, what worked at that what time of year and what didn't. And I thought you guys might like to come along and see. Well, let's start here. We have our little chicken. Poor thing. We'll have to get more this winter. I'm gonna walk this way. Our greenhouse is right here. So I spoke in the last one of these in November. Right here is where we're gonna build a flower cooler. So John's working on just clearing and leveling it a bit. And then back here, we're gonna build a little shed barn for all of the excess irrigation equipment and stuff like this that's on the side and the back of this little shed. So yeah, that's underway. This garden, it needs to be cleaned up, but it's a bunch of lilies, probably a couple hundred, and I have some forsythia in there that's looking pretty nice. It's weird, the weather's been so warm, we don't know what to do. And our apple orchard that I still need to take the netting off of and clear out the rest of the apples. So this is one of the entrances to our flower field. You can see all the boxwoods that's John's project. Hopefully without too many years they will create a nice pretty little hedge. Okay, so in here, I'm gonna start in the back here. We have our shade garden. It's just a little one and we're just getting a few things started. There's plans to expand it a bit and add a bunch more, but this time of year I love some hellebores and Virginia, and even the heuchera looks good right now. And so do the blackberry vines that I need to clean up. Okay, the field doesn't look a whole lot different. Some feverfew. I still need to rip this out. I guarantee that this is all going to pre-sprout again in the same spot. I'm gonna have a lot of weed seeds to deal with. This was all my black-eyed Susans. The frost finally got them all. There was status here and straw flowers here. These were all gomphrena. Look at them. That's all seeds on the ground. Yeah, I've got my work cut out for me. These were jewels of Opar, and then I had some Ammi. This is all the Ammi that's self-seeded. I might leave that bit for next year and just plant around it. We'll see. We had some stock and snapdragons in this one, and this was all zinnias. Some of it, the basil got pulled. Some of this has gotten pulled out of here, just not all of it. These two rows John pulled, and we came out here and planted some cover crop, and then it rained like nobody's business for a week. So there's a couple little bits germinated, but I'm not sure. The birds probably got most of it. That was our scented geraniums. They were looking pretty good in the last video, but now they're toast. Somehow I have Ceranth self-sown, but my eucalyptus here and here is still holding on. Doesn't look too terrible. I don't know. I'm probably going to pull it. I've got a bunch of seeds and I'm actually going to start in the next week or two. But this is a good sign that maybe we can overwinter them. Of course, this is what they call a El Nino winter, so it's warmer than normal. Oh, I forgot. I talked before, this whole back side is going to be a hedgerow. So we have some cherry trees, some 9-barks. I'm going to put some more roses, and there's a Winston, a bunch of perennials and whatnot that can live here and stay here and be beautiful, and I can cut from it all. And nothing's really changed here. I've still got all my dahlias. They were dug. I haven't cleaned them all up, obviously. These 2 rows I did plant with some cool flowers. We have Bupleurum. Can you see those little babies? That's Bupleurum. And larkspur in here. I have some larkspur that have sprouted. Then we have some foxglove and a few other cool flowers that hopefully will make it through the winter and will give us flowers in the late spring. Let's see. You can see Winston's back over there still. It's time. I need to clean up the chrysanthemums. They were so beautiful all the way through November. And my lupins, all this stuff needs some love and attention. It's coming. It'll all get it. Okay, let's see. Man, I can't help it. Look at this. Still looks amazing. I'm gonna have to grow more of those. Okay, so this garden we haven't really named. It's just at the entrance to the flower field. John did get the peony, that little corral, all cleaned up and mulched with compost. This one doesn't have a whole lot in it. This is John's favorite tree, this chocolate mimosa. But the camellias are blooming. A little bit of bright color for the winter time. This garden right here we call the chicken coop garden for obvious reasons, with the chicken coop right there. These are all shrubs that are meant for cutting. We have mock orange and 9-bark and a couple others that are escaping me at the moment, the names of them. But I'm in love with the color of these 9-bark leaves. I might have to do a bouquet of just the beautiful leaves that we have. So the chicken coop garden, we have right now 800 ranunculus and anemone, and we have another 600 to put in, but I'm going to wait to do that until probably February. But even despite all the crazy rain that we've had, it's been fairly warm, so they're holding up pretty well. All these hoops that are up over top, those are there so I can put frost cloths if it decides to dip below freezing. I can protect them a little bit. Okay, let's go wander over to the cottage garden. First off, this is John's beech tree. It looked pretty sad this summer, but we had just planted it, but it's pushing new growth, so it might be all right. This is his favorite tree, this birch tree. We have a couple more back behind the swing set. There's a magnolia and another 9-bark. Not much to look at right now. John did some cleanup here in the chicken coop garden. He cleaned up a lot of the rogue weeds. But it's weird that we still have foliage and flower buds on the roses and on the hydrangeas. Heck, we still have, you probably can't see it, we still have blossoms on the honeysuckle. So this was the other reason I was thinking about doing a bouquet of just the leaves that are available, because my goodness, this huckleberry is gorgeous right now. Yellows and reds. Let's see, we have blueberries. Those rose hips are pretty spectacular. You see how big those are? And then some red twig dogwood. This garden, John has plans for this coming year to expand it a bit, take out all these rocks and move it this way. Just make it bigger and add some different things. And I love this garden, so I'm all for it. Okay, right here is our pine tree alley, which I absolutely love. But there's just a few random plants inside of there. Some rhodies. There's actually some peonies, the rock rose. This lavender that needs to come out this winter. It's all brown and dead inside. It's not pretty anymore. Let's see. We have this little garden. It doesn't have a name, but it's pretty. It's bright. We can see it from our office right there. It's a great view in the winter with all these cypress that are just, the lemon cypress is so bright and cheerful, especially this time of year. I'm gonna walk around this way. There's another sweet little lavender and our Christmas lights. John got all the, what is this called? It's a trumpet vine cut back. And sometime in the late winter, I'll come in and prune this guy. Look at this. There's new growth. It's been so weirdly warm. I hope my tulips still bloom. Okay, so let's look at the veggie garden. Not a whole lot going on in here at the moment either, but there is some. Isn't this view? I just love this view. When you walk in with that raised bed circle in the middle, and then there's a great big, you can't really tell, it's a great big fig tree right there. It's just so beautiful. Again, I have not cleaned up my calendula, and look at it bloom. What the heck? This I just need to weed, add some compost. But look at these. This kale, I don't think it's ever been this happy. It's loving its life. And this Swiss chard. I'm going to keep this here just for the color. There's nothing in that bed. These are our blueberries. If any of you guys have tips on how to care for blueberries, I would love to know. I've read a bit, but I've never really had to prune them or dealt with them, but need to give these guys a better life. Let's see. Look at all those figs that never had a chance to completely ripen. This whole along the fence line, all of this compost, we put down cardboard and then compost. These are all bearded irises. There's probably, 30 or 40 of them over here. I'm hopeful that they'll do good and bloom this spring. They come on at a time that there's not a lot else blooming, so I'm looking forward to it. And then we have some ranunculus. Need to weed around them, but I planted them in here last fall, and they barely did anything, but they seem to have liked their home all summer, and now they're sprouted and growing, so I'll give them another chance. This bed is all my garlic, so you can't see anything. And there's nothing in the rest of these beds right now except some weeds that I need to pull and add compost. It's really truly going to be veggies this year for the most part. I think I'm going to try some new varieties maybe of tomatoes and, you know, the basics, just because I miss doing that. So the next couple gardens is this little one in front of the shed. Not a lot in here. There's a bay leaf tree, a couple of pines, which I adore, rhodie, and a big rose that I'll take care of later. In here, this is just our front yard garden. John did a lot of cleanup since the last time we came through here. There was the peonies and the dahlias and the black-eyed Susans that were crazy. So what's left, we have a little bit of winter interest. You see those little crab apples and the berries on the barberry. God, they're vibrant. This little anemone I planted here 4 years ago. It's still doing its thing. It seems to like its spot there. So yeah, there's not a whole lot left in here. The ginkgo lost its leaves, everything's gone. I do love this weeping cedar. It's gorgeous. And then our magnolia, which I will come in here in sometime in January probably, and limb it up. As much as I love this, it turns into just a big ball of leaves that you can't see through at all later in the spring and summer. So I'm going to limb that up, turn it back into a tree. But yeah, this garden, it's looking pretty good. Put to bed for the year. And then we've seen this recently. I made a video cleaning all this up. We planted up the hyacinths there. And these are the anemones that came out of the garden, the bedroom garden over there. And they all look good. It's all still pretty clean. This is our north side garden. It's just a narrow little thing, but my goodness. Look at those hellebores. Aren't they just the most beautiful thing in the winter? I can't even. Okay, so we've seen all of this. And then recently I did a video where we cleaned up this front porch area, did a little bit of holiday decorating, and it still looks good. The pot that we filled in with greens, cleaned up some of the rogue oregano. John has to deal with this plant. I'm not super familiar with how to take care of this one, but he'll take care of it. This Virginia loves this spot. It gets cooked in the summertime, but doesn't seem to mind. And look at these fuchsias. I adore this plant so much. And I can't believe that it's blooming in the middle of December. So here's the last little bit, and here is Winston. He's upset. He's not outside anymore. The dog walker's coming. He'll be fine. And then these are our two pots that we did in the video recently also. I will walk through. This is the garden we call the bedroom garden. We have all the roses that, again, I can't get over it. They are blooming in December. That's where the peonies are, the brand new roses, and there will be more roses that come and get planted in over there soon. Right here is a weedy mess. We did clean up a lot of it. This whole section right here, you can see the little stakes. That's all my tulips. Over here we have a whole bunch of daffodils planted in here. And then there's a bit of a gap that I need to fill in with something. These are Bee's Friend, self-sown from last year. I'm going to see if I can't at least keep some of them going. There's nothing in here on this side. This is Sweet Rocket. I don't know if it'll overwinter. It's supposed to be a biennial, but we'll see. I'm going to give it a shot. If it doesn't do anything, or if it dies off, then I'll pull it and plant something else. And then these are Sweet William. They look a little worse for wear, but they didn't bloom last year, so they should bloom this year. I think I'm going to come in and fertilize everything. And then we just took a video the other day of cleaning up the feverfew. And that's it, basically, for the bedroom garden. I still have more work to do to finish cleaning it up, but it's looking a whole lot better than it did. And then the last garden I want to walk through. You can see that euphorbia is crazy. This is what we call the St. Francis garden. There's a statue in the back of St. Francis, so that's why it's called that. And we have John built this beautiful pergola that someday, hopefully, will be covered in roses. This is a smoke bush here, and just some cedar, cypress. There's some yarrow that needs to be cut back, and some more biennials. This euonymus, I just love the variegated leaves, and give it 5-10 years, I'll be able to cut some branches from it. This part of the garden got absolutely terrorized by moles or voles. I'm not really sure which. Or maybe squirrels. But everywhere that we put tulips got dug up. I have no idea what will come up this spring. So frustrating. Over here, you can see all the Dusty Miller. It's about the only thing that's still in good shape right now. I just love it. It's such a calming color. And this geum. This geum has been blooming since we planted it in March or April of last year. So nonstop. It's been so warm that they're just loves its life. That's the rose. It's a yellow, I can't remember the name of it, but that's the one that, it's a big climber, so hopefully it'll come up over the top and be good and fill in a lot of this. We also have some jasmine to grow up this side. This is meant to be a bit of a shade garden. It'll take a little bit to get there, but all of these lemon cypress and the arborvitae, those will give the real shade that it needs. There's our St. Francis. I do like that a lot. Let's see. We have a bunch of mint and heuchera and astilbes and a bunch of rosemary. Some stuff that's shade tolerant, some that's not. I can't wait to show you in the spring. There's so many wild roses back there that it'll be just gorgeous. We planted a whole bunch of fritillaria in here, so if they bloom, that'll be nice in the early spring. More heucheras, lots of heucheras. I'm telling you, it's absolutely one of my favorite flowers. Look at this one. It's the only thing that really blooms this time of year, and I can't get over it. Yeah, there's some more. I'm gonna get more again and again. There's Astilbe and Lovelace, bleeding hearts and daylilies and all kinds of other ephemeral type plants in here. And then this adorable blue spruce. Isn't that just the cutest thing? And I think that's about it. Yeah, this heuchera is still holding strong. I think that's, oh, I'll show you one last thing. So right here we had done all the winter sowing. I don't think anything's come up yet, which I didn't expect it would. But look at how good all that ranunculus looks that we potted up together. Ah, how fun. This spring is going to be so pretty. Okay guys, that's it for this mid-December farm and garden tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this encourages you to get out and wander around and see what's changing in your fields, in your gardens, however big or small. If you enjoyed this, I hope you consider subscribing to my channel, and then hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.